Hi, welcome to another round of Ozzy Builds a budget gaming PC, but it's kind of relaxing and almost ASMR. The budget that we have for today is $500, which is a great budget for an entry-level computer, even right now. This one is exciting because we did the entire build live on Twitch, so thank you to all who came last Saturday.
Now, okay, you can say hi to YouTube. Okay, there we go. I'll be sure to add this into the video for sure. So, hey.
All the components for the computer and any alternatives will be linked in the description below. Now, for brand new computer builds, I do recommend picking up used video cards because brand new video cards are insanely high in price. If you buy a video card under $125, it will work fine for a $500 computer. And all of my recommended video cards will show up on screen. If you want any tips for buying a video card on eBay specifically, then I'll have a video linked below that's properly timestamped that shows you what to look for when buying a used video card. I promise you, eBay isn't a scary place, and a used video card is your best option if you don't want to wait. All right, let's go build this computer. But before we do that, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Datacamp. Datacamp is an online learning platform that teaches you how to build data analytical skills. And after I graduated, I wanted a simple and effective way to keep up with my programming abilities while doing YouTube full-time. Datacamp's interactive lessons had been great for that, and they don't require any extra software. I'm currently working through their intermediate Python course, and it explains everything simply and effectively for a C-based programmer like myself. And I have to admit, their progression system is addicting. You gain XP and level up for each correct solution that you have, which is a great motivator, and you can even lose experience for making mistakes, which forces me to think critically to find a solution myself. So if you want to get started in computer science, brush up on your skills, or take your expertise to the next level, then I definitely recommend Datacamp. It's only $25 a month for hundreds of different lessons, or you can try it out for free before you commit. They even have a mobile platform so you can learn on the go. Link will be in the description, so try it out now and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, back to the video.
Everything that you see here, including the cable extensions and CPU cooler, was $515.44 after mail-in rebates. Some of the parts might be out of stock, but I'll give you alternatives. Our CPU is the i3-10100 or 10100F. For $115 or less, it's the best budget CPU out right now. I chose the H410M motherboard for $60 on Amazon. The M.2 version is only $5 more, so I highly recommend that, and this one restocks semi-frequently. The Arctic Freezer 7X is a great entry-level cooler for $23. It's super easy to install, but you can skip on this if you want to save some money. I snagged 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM for $70. I'd get the fastest RAM, 16 gigs, you can afford. It's going to be about $70 or less. Now I did get lucky with this video card, an R9 290 for $75 shipped. I doubt you can find something this good for this price, so use one of my alternatives. I chose a 256 gig SSD from Pioneer. Brand doesn't matter too much on this budget, so get one that's $35 or less. I got some cable extensions to give the PC a clean aesthetic. For $23, it made a lot of sense, but you can skip on this if you'd like. The Entech Neo Echo is only $30 after rebate. 550 watts with a 5-year warranty and black cables is simply a no-brainer. And lastly, the case. Someone recommended the Apivia Prodigy White for $72. It comes with tempered glass, a mesh plastic front, and 3 RGB fans with a controller. For the price, it made a lot of sense for this build, but there are even cheaper options that are still really good to save even more money.
Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna move some of the stuff away. Okay. Manual, and then we have the CD/DVD for drivers. You don't really need either of those. Manual is good to have if it's your first time building a computer, but I usually just toss those to the side. And then this is also the I/O plate. I'm gonna save that for later. Okay, so first we're gonna install the CPU and then the CPU cooler. So just lift the lever up and then pull back. I'm gonna put the box to the side. I just double checked for good measure. And then now we pull the retention plate back on and then the handle down. There's going to be some resistance, but that's normal. Put it underneath. So for the CPU cooler, if you're using the stock cooler, it's already kind of in place for you. Just remove the 4-pin header that you have from inside the fan blades. You're going to line up these little pins right here, these push pins, with these 4 holes here. You're going to place it. They should all fall into place, and then you're just going to click in an X pattern. So click these 2 down, it should click. Click these 2 down, and it should click. So just as a demonstration. And then you're going to plug the 4-pin header. But because we're using a separate CPU cooler, I'm going to take this out. Put this retention plate on. Okay, now we're going to put these push pins down on each of the 4 holes of the retention plate. So we're going to plug in the CPU fan header up here. Thermal paste is already on the bottom of the CPU cooler, so we don't have to worry about that. So all we have to do now is just screw in these 2 right here. Look how it glimmers in the sun. So nice. So nice. I really like it. To install the RAM, you just line up this notch that you see right here on the RAM with the notch on the DIMM slot. And then you just click on both ends like this, and it should just click. You kind of have to press hard. Okay, so here is honestly the really pretty Apevia Prodigy white version. As soon as you open the case, this is the first thing you should do, otherwise you will forget and it's going to suck. Happened to me quite a few times, so. Okay, so what I actually do next is I usually route the motherboard header cables first, and then I install the power supply, and then I install the motherboard. That way, things are routed, and it just makes things a lot simpler. So, here's the power supply. Entech Neo Echo 550. We're going to install this. It actually comes with all black cables. I thought these were ketchup and mustard because that's what they look like in the Newegg listing. So this is a pleasant surprise. All right, we're gonna screw you in. It only took 4 screws. It's very ITX of it. Then power LED. Okay, so what we're actually going to do now is install the SSD. Yeah, I think this SSD looks really, really nice. Very basic and minimal. And I really like the box. Okay, so now we can actually use the cable kit. Which is pretty exciting. This is my first time actually using cable extensions. But I think the cables look really nice. Okay, so now everybody's favorite part. Pride and joy. It's a gorgeous card. Okay. Voila. Now we're good.
Congratulations, you built a computer. Now you're probably wondering what it looks like. I have to admit, it looks really, really, really good. Very happy with it. Here it is.
Like I mentioned earlier, I understand that buying an R9 290 for this $500 PC is simply just not going to work out for most people. Instead, I threw in a GTX 760, which frequently goes for under $100 on eBay and most local classifieds in the United States. This will easily fit in the budget. It has about the same performance as a GTX 1050, which is noticeably faster than any integrated graphics out there right now. The 760 is probably the worst case scenario that you'll get for a computer of this caliber. If you do a little bit of deal hunting, I'm sure you can find something a little bit faster. The R9 290 system sailed through all the games that I tested, from esports to Cyberpunk. It did extremely well. Now the GTX 760 was noticeably worse, but it's still able to play all games out there, Cyberpunk included, if you change your settings accordingly. The games won't be the prettiest, but they'll look good enough for you to play and enjoy your time. Either way, you won't have any problems playing most computer games out there with either configuration. Obviously, get the best video card that you can afford, but if you can only afford something like a 760, I don't think that would be an issue. And the cool part is that this computer has a great upgrade path as well, so you can always get better performance from here. So that's the $500 Sonic themed computer build. Me and Twitch chat decided to name it Ice Bear, which I think is a really cool name because it has the very icy, cool blue undertones to it with a black and white accent as well. So if you guys like this video, then leave a like. If you guys enjoy this series, let me know, because I think I might make it a monthly thing. I really enjoy making it. It's very therapeutic for me, and I hope it's helping you guys as well. So actually, let's do this. If you guys like this series, then comment down what budget you want me to do next. And then whichever one has the most likes, then that's the one that I will do. Seems simple enough. All right, Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.